we go. Well, yet again, YouTube is being a pain in the tookish. I think we're live. Hi everybody. Not really being able to oh, that was a huge bug. Not really able to chat too much, so I apologize. I am heading west right now on 220, getting to head west, and we're going after a severe thunderstorm that has a history of producing a lot of damage through Center and Clinton County, as it's coming up into Lycoming County now, closing in on the Mill Hall, Jersey Shore, first Lock Haven areas, Jersey Shore, and then into Williamsport and Lycoming County in the central Lycoming County areas. Had a tornado warning associated with it that has since been allowed to expire. However, it is a dangerous severe thunderstorm that is moving into Lycoming County right now. Here soon we should start seeing lightning flashes off to the west, which will be in the camera view here. We've got another severe thunderstorm to the south of that one. That is going to be moving up toward the Selinsgrove area, Lewisburg, to north of Lewisburg. That also has a severe thunderstorm warning and a tornado warning. So a lot of these individual cells are producing some dangerous weather conditions, including straight line winds, hail. There's some lightning, big lightning now in the distance there to the west. Lots of wind damage, straight line wind damage, and potentially tornado damage as well, although that will be confirmed or denied by the National Weather Service. No one else can do it. You've got some yahoos all through this area who like to say that they saw tornadoes and they're confirming tornadoes and they know it's an EF1 or EF2 or EF0, whatever. Only the National Weather Service can do that. So anyway, we're heading west. We are keeping an eye out on radar as well. If you'd like to help out toward gas, toward coffee, toward whatever, you can always hit that donate button and do super chats. You can donate whatever you would like if you want to. You certainly do not have to. I am covering the cost of driving to the storm using my gear, and we'll see what we can find. Pretty substantial severe thunderstorms, though. Had I believe it was 80-mile-an-hour winds possible, and a tornado possible tag as well. So moving westbound here past the old Lycoming Mall, which soon, very soon, will host Bass Pro Shops. Bass Pro Shops has signed the contract. They are the first tenant here at the new Lycoming Crossings here at the old Lycoming Mall complex in Lycoming County. It's going to be a Bass Pro Shops, and I can't remember the name of it, but like a smaller version of Bass Pro Shops, but called the Outpost, I believe is what it is. So it should be very cool. That's not going to be open for another 2 years, so we've got a lot. It's going to seem like it's going to take a long time, but we will see. Moving along here, no rain just yet. That's still quite a bit off to the west. This severe thunderstorm warning goes all the way up to just to the west of Williamsport right now. We're going to try to get up into Williamsport. Nice bright lightning off into the distance. Lots of bugs out. Lots of bugs hitting the windshield. But again, we've got a severe thunderstorm warning coming into central Lycoming County. That person did not want to let me go. My goodness. Oh, New York. Sorry to all the folks in New York. I know this isn't all of you, but that guy was kind of... I'm not worried about it anymore. So yeah, still a severe thunderstorm warning into Lycoming County. Severe thunderstorm warning now issued out in advance of the cell coming up into the Lewisburg area. Lewisburg, you are not in a warning yet, but just to your west, you are. Got quite a bit of warnings going all throughout Pennsylvania and the Northeast right now. Kind of expected to be a severe weather day, but more emphasis on the flooding or the flood potential because of very heavy rain. And these severe thunderstorms do produce very heavy and localized torrential rain that will produce, flash flooding. And I apologize. I am missing all sorts of stuff in chat. Once we get to a position where I can look at chat and do so safely, I will look through. I see already a few of you have made super chats. I can't thank you enough for that. That guarantees that I can continue doing this kind of a thing with gas. And even though gas technically, think about this, gas technically is now cheaper than it has been since 2003. And I know you're saying, well, gas has been cheaper than $2.89 or $2.92. Yes, it was down to, I think, $1.50, $1.52 or $1.53 back in 2003. Don't quote me, but I know it was right around that number. But due to inflation and the fact that our dollar has been reduced by half of its value is gone. Based on that, gas now is cheaper than it has been in 23 years, 22 years, something like that. So pretty cool stat to think of, but it's still expensive. There's no doubt about it. It's still expensive. So thank you to those who have sent super chats. I will thank you publicly and acknowledge you. I just can't do it right now while we're driving. Definitely unsafe, and is now illegal in the state of Pennsylvania to operate a phone by hand, which is why all of my devices are being held up by mounts and brackets and hands-free devices all the way. Got lightning rocking to our west. Lots of lightning. This severe thunderstorm does have a characteristic look of extremely strong winds, and and even the potential for rotation on radar. Out. If you see comments that need an answer or need somebody to answer, please go ahead and do so. Again, I'm not able to read and go through different comments and stuff. Thank you to those who have already sent donations. I know it doesn't seem like much, but I'm telling you, that's awesome. That is a phenomenal thing for you to do. I know you work hard, and to send your money to a stranger completely blows my mind. So thank you so much. Good lightning show off to the west, as this severe thunderstorm warning is making its way in. Every 2 seconds, every second, lightning is just going nuts off to the west here. I'm trying to keep the camera pointed that direction. All right, we're in downtown Williamsport, PA, here in Lycoming County. So this severe thunderstorm warning we're getting ready to get impacted by is in effect until 9:45, where we fully expect a new warning to be issued. 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. Now this is radar indicated, but there are damage reports coming out of Center and Clinton counties. So we're going to be very careful watching this storm as it comes in. And it does look like that tornado warning to the south on that southern storm, or the storm just to the south, that tornado warning has also been allowed to expire for the moment. And we are going to get off right here, because I don't want to get too far west, as this storm looks like it's starting to cycle and might be trying to hand off to its south. And if that's the case, it's going to come up over the mountain and be a little to the east of Williamsport toward the Montoursville area. So I want to really dive into radar here in a minute. Once I can get parked and do a little radar analysis and make sure I'm in the right position. These are the kind of storms that we don't want to just play around with. These storms mean business. These storms can and do produce damage, and I want to make sure I'm in the right spot to not get rolled over. Excuse me. Well, whoever's driving that Tesla cannot park. All right, folks, we are sitting here next to, we're at Sheets, next to Penn College, right here on Maynard Street. All right, while we stopped, let me go back through chat here quick. Lisa, Mike, Brandon from Shamokin area, how are you? Keep your eye on the road and stay safe. Absolutely. Will they come towards Shamokin? Yes. In fact, right now, these storms, just looking at radar, you have a couple of storms go all the way down into Maryland and Northern Virginia. These storms are moving northeast. So Shamokin, you will be in the line of fire probably in a couple of hours. Because of where the storms are and the way they're running or moving through PA, it's going to be a couple of hours. So yes, Shamokin should see the storms soon. Probably going to be a couple of hours. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate you being in here. All right. Oh, that lightning's getting really bright. Jeannie, thank you so much for the $1.99 super chat. I appreciate you so much. Oh my gosh, and you also did a $9.99 super chat. Thank you. That's awesome. Thank you so much. I keep going through chat and the phone, the camera of the phone refocuses on everything I tap. So if it goes back and forth, I apologize. Yeah, service is going to be a little iffy, so just stay tight or stay with me. If it kind of zooms in and zooms out or cuts in and out or refreshes or whatnot, don't go anywhere. Brandon, you're in Northumberland County outside of Shamokin and Cole Township. Yes, again, that's probably going to be within the hour to 2 hours would be my guesstimate. All right, we've got Muncie checking in, Allenwood checking in. Yeah, hopefully they're not tornado warned by then. We're gonna have to keep a real close eye. These storms, as everybody knows, it's been hot, it's been smoky. Now the smoke necessarily isn't going to do anything about the storms, but the smoke particles in the air and in the atmosphere will act as conduits for moisture. They will help rain fall out of the air a little bit more than if there wasn't any smoke in the atmosphere. Rain falls because water or moisture collects on dust particles, but it can also collect on smoke particles and particles of any type, ash, if you had a volcano, any side of any type of dust or sand, even from the African continent, from Africa, can help to increase rain, but it can also do the opposite. But in this case, I think we're going to get a little bit more rain moving through the area. So, all right. Thanks again, Lisa. Appreciate it. And thank you so much, Jeannie, for your super chats. 1198 so far, and I can't thank you enough. You've been a wonderful human being, and you've been a follower for a long time. So thank you very much. I appreciate you. All right, looking at chat, or I'm sorry, looking at radar. We still have a severe thunderstorm warning here in Lycoming County for 1-inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. That'll expire in 19 minutes. Lightning is starting to crank up a little bit more. Let me turn around and get a better view toward the west, if I can. And forgive me, I have allergies or a cold, you know, something just stupid. Starting to kind of kick my butt a little bit, but that's about all it is. So, all right. See if we can't get some of this lightning coming in here. Yeah, you're going to start seeing lightning all over. This is a fairly potent storm. It's hitting Jersey Shore right now. There is still some rotation, and it's kind of centered between Rocktown and Jersey Shore Avis area, heading right into Auntie's Fort and north of Oval. It'll be Bastrop, Nisbet, and Linden areas here in probably about 10 minutes at the most. If it were daytime, we would probably see a really nice shelf cloud with this storm as it's getting ready to move into the Williamsport area here in central Lycoming County. Lightning has increased for sure. Lots of lightning strikes all over western Lycoming County. Again, I'm in Williamsport, PA, next to Penn College. I can hear thunder in the distance. Oh, come on. There we go. All right, folks. Keep an ear open to your National Weather Service radio. Make sure your phones are charged. Keep everything charged. And watch for I'm sorry, I'm doing like 14 different things here. Watch for any watches or warnings or additional warnings and advisories that may be issued. I don't want anyone, being caught off guard by this. There's no reason for it. We've been warning about this since 2 days ago, 3 days ago. I've been posting every day on Storm Chaser Eli Roberts on Facebook. And, Facebook's algorithm is only sharing with so many of you. So if you're on Facebook and you follow me and you haven't seen my posts, you may be catching this as quite a shock. I hope not. But Facebook is quite odd at times. Yeah, Jeannie, you have all. Yeah, I know you know all about that. It is a very kind of eerie quiet right now, but right now we're okay. No one in from Williamsport East, no one is under any warnings. Now that will likely change as these storms move east. So, Ryan Hall on YouTube always says, don't be scared, be prepared. And that's extremely, extremely correct. There's no reason we need to be scared about any of this. We just need to be prepared. And knowing that there are severe thunderstorms that are likely coming in, we can prepare, as best we can, making sure, stuff is off of our porch. Stuff is off of our back deck that could fly away. Umbrellas. Take them down. Move them inside. Chairs. If they're folding chairs, you can just unfold them or fold them up and lay them down. But they can still get carried around and blown around by the wind. Take them inside. Those little things can help with your home, with your neighbor's home, with people down the street. Because these severe thunderstorms, they can do a lot of damage. But that damage, it matters, but it doesn't matter as much until it happens on your street. So let's take the moment to get everything put away or tied down. If you have a trampoline, it should always be tied down. But even just flipping a trampoline over, that way the air can't get under them, sometimes is all you need to do. It's kind of the last thing you should ever do because obviously it's not tied down and it can still fly. But as long as it's even turned upside down, that's far better than it just sitting up and flying away. Nice lightning, really starting to ramp up. Excuse me. So we've got 4 severe thunderstorm warnings in effect right now across Pennsylvania. Nothing other than, flash flood warnings up in New York. And those are bad enough. But right now, the severe thunderstorm warnings are all in PA. And then a big one down in South Carolina. So all eyes are on Pennsylvania right now. Excuse me. So if there is any rotation in these storms, the best rotation is down toward Penns Creek Wild area, down toward Wykirk, Ingleby, north of Decatur, Wagner, and McClure, north of Route 522, and south of Laurelton and Hartleton, south of Bald Eagle State Forest. And that will be moving in the general direction of Lewisburg up toward New Columbia and White Deer. So if you're in the central Susquehanna Valley area along the Susquehanna River, I'd say from Montgomery down to Lewisburg, just keep your ears open for any additional warnings. It's still a long way out, so please don't take this as I'm warning you, but there are some storms that are going to be moving in over the next hour or so, from Selinsgrove to Lewisburg to White Deer, that are going to be packing some punch. Hi, good evening. How is Trout Run looking? Well, Trout Run, let's take a look in the Trout Run area. Trout Run is going to be on the north side of the storm. Not in the warning right now, but you're probably, if you're in Trout Run, you're probably seeing rain coming down right now. You may be watching lightning. You probably don't hear thunder, but you may be watching lightning. And you will stay on the north side of the storm. You're probably going to be north of the worst of this storm. Excuse me. Nice lightning now popping over the early bird. Not, it's a early bird car wash. Not sponsored. Gotta put that apparently. Yeah, 15 minutes above where I am. Yeah, I'm actually familiar with Trout Run. Not that I go there all the time. I spent quite a bit of time there last year during the flooding and after the flooding, and really feel bad with work and everything. I have not been able to get back up there and look around and see how rebuilding and everything has gone. But yeah, no thunder yet. Okay. This severe thunderstorm warning keeps getting whittled down as the storm moves east. It is expiring in 5 minutes. And it's looking more ragged. It's not as, definitely not as well put together as it was before. The lightning is pretty good. Pretty good. If I could get to a dark area, which, I mean, I'm in Williamsport. I'm in the city. There's no real dark areas. I would try to get some lightning photography, but right now with all these lights and signs and digital signs all over the place, there's no way. There is so much lightning up in the clouds. This is, we don't normally see really severe storms, and this is probably one of those very energetic Very electrical type storms that we haven't had in quite a while. Oh, you have a cool car. Good job. Sounds like a gum pack flapping in a fan. Sorry, I don't mean disrespect toward that fine young person who probably spent $20,000 on their car and made it sound like a gum pack in the fan. Sorry, they can't hear me. I know they can't hear me. I'm being silly. All right, folks, give me a second. I just want to get my camera out. Woo-hoo. Really pretty lightning going on right now. I have always wanted my own place where I could sit on a porch and watch lightning storms go by. I mean, doesn't everybody want that? I know it's such a crazy, crazy dream. Holy lightning. I hope you all saw that. That was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Try to get more of it. Woo, that was pretty. I know you all saw that one. Wind is really picking up out of the east and southeast, out in advance of this cell, blowing right into it. It is at my back and it's strong. The inflow on this storm is really good. All right, everybody, sorry, I'm still here. Just have my camera getting pictures and video and stuff like that. So still watching radar. The storm looks a little bit beefier. Trout Run, it's actually quite heavier rain now moving into your location. You know, not horrible, but definitely slightly heavier now. Probably hearing thunder at this point. Whew. Jeannie, I appreciate you more than you know. Yeah, the flood was so bad. I still feel so grateful to all the people, you know, and I say all the people. It wasn't like hundreds of people came out of the doors and talked with me, but I talked with so many people from Trout Run and just, you know, I was offered water. I was offered, are you hungry? Do you need anything to eat? And, you know, these are people that had flooding going on in their home, and I'm being offered stuff. And I took that very, it was such a blessing. I'll put it that way, to be chasing for 30 years now, 30 years now, and still be shocked to see how good people are. The human spirit, you know, when tested, and even not even when tested, just the human spirit is phenomenal. Yeah, lightning almost seems a little slower, but I think it's because the storm itself is cycling a little bit and trying to get its act together. It is definitely a lot. It's a lot wider in coverage. It is now coming into West Hills Estates, Garden View. Newberry is getting heavy rain. Du Bois Town If Du Bois Town is not getting heavy rain yet, you will very shortly. So right here where we are on Maynard Street at the Sheets in Williamsport, we're probably minutes away from rain. I'm watching radar down to street level. And what I mean by street level, let's see if we can get a nice view here. So we are that red dot that's kind of flashy to the right. And you can see the edge of the rain, the greens, the yellows, the reds. That's the heavy rain getting ready to come into Williamsport. And actually, I was going to say, that's me. I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure what that dot is. That is not me. I am right here. So you can see just how close this heavy rain is to our position. Just to our west. Why don't we take a look at velocity here real quick. Yeah, velocity is not showing any kind of rotation. If there is any kind of rotation, it's very weak. It's really not a problem. Again, until you get down into the storms down to the south, then there might be some, but really rotation is not an issue as of right now. So that's what we're looking at right now. So our severe thunderstorm warning has been allowed to expire. So this storm is no longer technically severe. Just grabbing my camera quick. Rain is almost here. Boy, that thunder definitely is here. There's a car trying to go through the car wash, through the exit. What in the world? Huh. Oh well. All right, rain should be starting any second. And since it's going to start here in a second, wow, don't hit the gas pump or anything. Jeez. I know you got a big Jeep and you think you're cool and everything, but holy smokes. All right, we are parked on the eastern side of the building to try to protect us a little bit from some stronger winds. Not the greatest with unfortunately some bright lights right in front of us. There's not really much I can do about that. Wind is dead calm. You can see that American flag. It is absolutely calm. Thunder is booming. This rain is just about here. This storm definitely has an interesting look now on the southern side. So when we are talking about an interesting look, yeah. Sorry, I'm looking further into this. This little appendage hanging on the bottom of this storm is looking a little bit more interesting as we go. And there's the rain starting. One severe thunderstorm warning in effect now. And that is for quite a large thunderstorm, all the way from the Bald Eagle State Forest, almost all the way down to Milroy and Lewistown. And that is for Middleburg up to Mifflinburg. And it's heading toward Sunbury, Lewisburg, and White Deer. This storm, our storm here in Lycoming County, does have a slight appendage hanging on the south end of it. So we are going to move a little east just in case, so we can get out in front of this a little bit more. and watch the storm continue coming in. Hold on to your butts. We are moving. And if you're a child of the 80s, you know that saying. Extra points to those who know what movie had the phrase, hold on to your butts. Does anybody know it? I know somebody knows it. Alright, so we're going to get out in front of this rain a little bit.
This is some previous cardiac history. We're in the process of taking some aspirin. 2202.
Got the scanner on, listening in case there's any kind of tree damage or any kind of other damage. Have no idea. Well, it's more of a night. Oh, somebody got it. I get all excited. Oh, man. Yeah, and I can't remember his character's name in that movie. But yes, he was sitting at the computer. They were getting ready to turn the power back on, and the cigarette hanging out of his mouth. Samuel L. Jackson, hold on to your butts. All right, folks, we are moving east of Williamsport. Yeah, that was definitely late 90s. I was born in 80, so of course I say child of the 80s. But yeah, that was in the 80s, or in the 90s. Jurassic Park. A great movie. Some of the best jump scares that you'll see. Arnold, you had to Google his name. That makes sense. I know he came. He had a very unfortunate end in that movie. We didn't see it, but we kind of saw it. Kind of saw the aftermath, I guess. Anywho, all right, we're staying out in front of this storm. This is not a severe warned storm any longer. The storm, the warning has been allowed to expire. However, heavy rain and possibly some hail is moving through Williamsport right now. Garden view into where the original Little League World Series or Little League Baseball Stadium and baseball fields are. Moving into where the Williamsport Crosscutters Stadium is. I am moving east to stay ahead of it. The southern edge of this storm, and it more than likely is just inflow feeding into the storm, but it does have an appendage hanging off the southern end of this storm, pretty much right over Bald Eagle Mountain. And granted, we can't see everything on radar, but it could be moisture just flying directly into this storm, going up and over Bald Eagle Mountain and into this storm, literally injecting moisture directly into the storm, which is a had I moved in through college and gone through my bachelor's and then my master's and then into a doctorate for meteorology, I would have tried to do some kind of a thesis or a study on the orographic lift in the terrain in valley locations like this. And when a storm is and warm air flowing north up and over these mountains, is it injected directly into the storm? And what kind of process or what happens to the storm when that happens? So, anywho, 22 of you watching, I appreciate it. If you're watching and you like this, go ahead and hit that like button. That'll allow that'll tell YouTube that you like it, and they'll recommend it to more people. So if you can, hit that like button, smash it. Just be gentle to screen. I don't want to get messages, I was told to smash it and I broke my phone. Don't break your phone. I'm not responsible if you smash too hard. Woo! That was a close lightning bolt. Holy cow. I appreciate everybody watching, though. Really, really do. What'd everybody think of the smoke the last, like, 2 weeks? Canadian wildfire smoke that was coming down into the U.S. And again, I'm driving now, so I'm trying to keep my eyes on the road and watch every little thing that could happen directly in front of me. Now lightning off to the east. That lightning flash was way off to the east. And there's nothing off to the east to do that. How about that? Nighttime chasing is always interesting. I don't know how many other chasers y'all watch. I appreciate you being here. It's hard to see anything. You get lightning flashing, which most of the lightning is going to be behind us right now because we are out in front of this moving just to the east so that we can watch this thing come in. If the signal bounces in and out, I apologize. We're going through kind of a dead area here for whatever reason in the county. This spot is a little weird. So right now I am on 180 eastbound, just to east of Montoursville here in Lycoming County, Pennsylvania. Trying to stay out ahead of this storm that has a nice little appendage hanging off the bottom end of it. And that looks like it's going to be coming up and over Bald Eagle Mountain into county here momentarily. I mean, realistically, Williamsport, you're already getting pounded. I briefly saw a comment about no graphics. Yes, the graphics are quite expensive. Well, they can be expensive. Generally, chasers that make hundreds and hundreds of dollars, if not thousands of dollars each day, they can afford really nice laptops that have service pucks and can run things in the background that have location, and they have different graphics and all that kind of stuff. Those chasers, they do it professionally. I do this when I don't have multiple jobs that I'm doing. I'm a single dad with 2 kids, and unfortunately my money goes towards that and not toward gear for chasing. I wish I could. I would love to be able to have a full graphics package and all that kind of stuff on my streams. That's just far too expensive to do just yet. But yeah, thankfully everybody in chat, I appreciate you jumping in and trying to offer information as best you can, answering questions, giving information. That's what community is all about. Right now we are going to we're going to sit right in front of a bunch of lights, which is always good. Alright, let's get to a spot here where I can check stuff out, hopefully. Excuse me while I sniffle a little bit. I've got a bunch of, I don't know, allergies or a cold or something like that going on right now, but definitely got some nasal issues. All right, watch as these storms come in here. We're now just to the east of Muncie. We're really close to Pennsdale and Muncie here in central eastern Lycoming County. Looking now towards the west, as this storm is a little bit off to our west yet. Very slow, still coming in. But I wanted to get off to the east so we could actually see a little bit more. And I know it's hard in the dark, but when the lightning flashes, we might be able to see a little bit more of the structure. I was hoping to see a little bit more structure of the storm. Yeah, JP, sorry about that. I do see your comment now where I don't know where you are chasing no graphics. Yeah, graphics are one of those things I've looked into, and I would love to be able to run. I have to have a laptop that I can connect to the internet, so I have to have some kind of a service puck or something that gives internet, and probably not just my phone. My phone can run internet, but that starts to slow down quite a bit. Those guys also have independent cameras, and sometimes rooftop mounted cameras that they can adjust and swivel or turn 360 degrees inside the cab of their vehicle. Pretty cool technology, but it comes at a cost. I would love to do it professionally. I'd love to do it, every day and be running around the plains and all that. But the startup cost for something like that is pretty substantial. So while that would be nice, I would love it. I do use 2 phones in my vehicle, and my main phone is what I stream on. I set that up with a where I can run internet off of that directly to my other phone, my old one, and I can run radar on my old phone, so that way I'm never not seeing radar, which is critical when storm chasing. And again, I've done it for 30 years. And the first 10 years of storm chasing, we didn't really have phones that had radar. It wasn't until iPhone and that was good lightning. iPhone and then Androids and stuff like that came out where you could actually start looking at radar on a phone, during a storm chase. Before that, it was literally printing out the radar on a piece of paper and then hoping you can guess where everything is 10, 15, 20 minutes later. It was pretty ridiculous. So yeah, the storm, it almost is back building over Williamsport, which isn't good for flash flooding, but it does look like it's producing some very heavy rain over the city. It is slowly moving east, but it has not hit the Williamsport airport yet there in Montoursville. Heavy rain is moving north. Excuse me. And it does appear now that the severe thunderstorm watches that had been extended and added Lycoming County and other counties here in central PA, that severe thunderstorm watch has been allowed to also expire. And right now there are a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings to the south, and now a bunch of flash flood warnings are starting to pop up. South side of State College. Yeah, and just looking now. Menno, Milroy, all the way up to Bald Eagle State Forest. Flash flood warnings are in effect. Doppler radar indicates heavy rain being produced by thunderstorms. Flash flooding is ongoing or expected to begin shortly. And locations that will experience flash flooding include Woodward, Bellevue, Milroy, Yeagertown, Millheim, Reedsville, Aaronsburg, Allensville, Spring Mills, Coburn, Seven Mountains, Potter's Mills, Reeds Gap State Park, Poe Valley State Park, McElvay's Fort, I probably pronounced that wrong, I apologize, Barville, and Siglerville. That's a flash flood warning. Lewisburg and Sunbury, heads up. Severe thunderstorm warning to the south and west of you. You are not under the warning just yet, but that storm is very intense and going to be heading into the Lewisburg area shortly. All right, back to chat. Jeannie, thank you. I appreciate you. Yeah, JP, you're welcome. Yeah, this storm really has quieted down quite a bit. It still looks fairly decent on radar, although it is very, very, it really has fallen apart. Still some decent lightning, but it's nowhere near, what it was, even 20 minutes ago. Hey, bud, how are you? I'm going back through chat. Jeannie, I do see your comment about when that big tornado hit in 85. We thought mountains would break up tornadoes. And yeah, that was when you were told, you know, if you open a window, it would reduce the pressure in the house. Yeah, that was, man, some of the things that they used to tell us to do, and I don't even mean us, you know, for your generations and whatnot, years and years ago, you know, this area didn't even really seem like tornadoes, not necessarily weren't possible, but it just wasn't really literally on anybody's radar. They happened, you know, historically they've happened forever, but the amount of people that have moved out into, you know, the woods and all over the state, you know, and now everybody has smartphones and cameras and the internet, and you can report stuff everywhere, and we've got satellites and radar that can see stuff that we couldn't see 20 years ago, even 50 years ago. Yeah, everything's saturated. You know, we've had almost a year of dry weather and drought conditions and whatnot, and now all of a sudden we're kind of flipping the script. Last month was extremely wet. This month we're already starting to see, you know, wetter than normal conditions. So it's just part of nature, you know, doing the chicken shuffle, I guess. Just one period you're dry and hot, or dry and cold, and then everything flips. Yeah, but I was shocked too. I didn't expect us to still be getting storms this late, but some of these storms have really kept going. Boy, down by Cross Keys, Blair's Mills area, right on 15, is it 15? No, 35 south. Kraus, just outside of Mount Union. Very heavy rain, if not some big hail falling in some of those storms. Oh, goodness. I'm sorry. Excuse me.
Medic 191, your location.
Yeah, our storm here in Lycoming County has really gone more linear than anything. The lightning has really reduced. It's really just sitting over Williamsport, which is not good for flood potential. Especially right there over eastern portions of Williamsport now. Right over the Faxon area. 4-mile drive. And it looks like right around the Faxon exit going onto the Golden Strip, East 3rd Street, is where some of the heaviest rain is right now. In fact, there might be some hail just past Divine Providence Hospital. Moving down 4-mile drive. Right toward Backyard Broadcasting, it looks like. Radio station with WILQ, WZXR. Looks like they're getting some very heavy rain right now. Jeannie, I'm seeing your message about a tornado in the town of Elvira. There have been reports. We'll have to see if anything is confirmed. But there have been some reported, storms that put down possible tornadoes here this afternoon and this evening. I want to say I've heard of Elvira, but I know of a song called Elvira. And I think that was by the Oak Ridge Boys, if I'm not mistaken. I can hear it in my head. If I start singing it or playing it, YouTube will clamp down on this video. They won't like music at all. Yeah, radar really is showing this thing absolutely dying, which is good. I mean, we don't want severe thunderstorms. They do produce damage. For me as a storm chaser, yes, I want to experience it because I love the wind and all that. But wind damage and damaging people's homes and stuff, we don't want. Oh, this was years ago. Okay. Or Elvis, Mistress in the Dark. Or Elvira, I'm sorry. Mistress in the Dark. This is out in state game lands in Elamsport. Okay. I know the first tornado I ever witnessed or was a part of, granted I was here since 87, and I know we've had tornadoes around the area, but my first actual tornado that I remember seeing was in 1994. Was 50 yards, 60 yards in front of me, going through a cornfield behind my my then neighbor's house, or my grandmother's neighbor's house. And it was pulling up trees, and I thought it was the corn stalks and grass and stuff, and here it was trees being pulled up and lofted into the air. And it was an EF0 tornado, or an F0 at that time, and it did some damage in a development up near our cemetery in Hughesville. Came down through the north side of town, thankfully stayed mostly in open, kind of brushy fields, really, and damaged a couple of places. There was a bar, and now, of course, the name of that's getting out of my head, but there was a bar that sustained some roof damage. There was a barn that was destroyed, and I remember watching it just twist and spin, and go right past my neighbors' houses and twist off off to the east. And yeah, it was one of the wildest things I'd ever seen at the age of 14, or almost the age of 14. I was just 13. The town doesn't exist anymore. You're okay. You're fine, I promise. Once it reached Watsontown, yeah, that tornado, it was a very high-end F4. And, you know, our area, I say our area, but you folks who really got hit by that tornado, it was so close to an F5. Which is shocking for this area, because generally we've all grown up thinking, you know, we can't have thunderstorms, we can't have tornadoes because it's too mountainous. But Pennsylvania has been hit by one F5, and that was out in Wheatland, PA, right outside of Linesville area during the 85 outbreak. There have been a few, I want to say a couple of F4s over all the years of reporting. And I'm sure there have been bigger tornadoes way back before reliable, you know, weather reports and records were ever kept. Native Americans and, you know, even after Native Americans and English settlers and stuff, I'm sure there were big tornadoes even right through this valley. But you know, written reports and historical reports just really aren't a thing more than 150, 200 years ago at the most. Well, this storm really has died. I'm so sorry, folks. I was hoping to show you some decent lightning and everything. Probably could have just stayed right there in Williamsport and seen the rain come down. That probably would have been better than anything. Yeah, you're right. Most of those tornadoes happened in 85. We had some big tornadoes in 96 and 98. May 31st, 98 was a big day for a lot of storm chasers here in PA. And a lot of areas experienced some bigger tornadoes than what typically we would see. NS Buffalo Line Rail fan, how are you? Watching the lightning in Sunbury? Yeah, get ready. Sunbury's gonna get hit. There's a decent storm with some heavy winds actually knocking on the door of Lewisburg right now. Mifflinburg is getting hit pretty good right now. Heavy rain and wind. Probably some hail. Lewisburg, you're up next. White Deer, you're up next. Well, I mean, if we're going to storm chase, we might as well chase, right? I'm really sorry, folks. I don't know if it was disconnected for a while. My phone all of a sudden said, you know, can't connect. I don't know. I'm in the middle of civilization and shouldn't have had any issues with cell reception. That is my biggest complaint of all the gear I have or don't have is just reliable cell service. And it drives me nuts, and I ain't kidding. Well, that storm that we were watching is really dying. So we're going to do the right thing and go find another one. Got a big storm just to the south. Maybe a 15-minute drive. 15-20-minute drive. Let's go see if we can't get into the middle of something here, shall we? Lots of lightning still flashing. At some point, one of these days, I will purchase a new cell phone booster that will amplify cell signal and allow me to hypothetically not lose cell service as quickly or as easily. But that's one of the biggest drawbacks of this region is cell service just not being great. Probably should have headed this direction 10 minutes ago. John Johnson, how are you, sir? Storm Chaser. Appreciate you stopping by. The service happened as I was pulling away. All right. Ugh. Just holes all over the road. We're just perpetually in road maintenance, season every day. Spring, summer, fall, even winter, they're repairing roads, and it never seems to help. Not a shot at anybody at PennDOT. Those folks do a great job. Well, looks like we had another super chat. Jeannie, you are fantastic. Thank you so much. I appreciate you more than you'll ever know. Yeah, right now it does not look like Montgomery is under the gun. It looks like it might stay on the north side of the storms that are to the south that will impact Lewisburg and White Deer. There will be some heavy rain, it looks like, and probably no hail, but some heavy rain moving through Montgomery, but does not look like anything should be severe there. Lightning starting to increase now as we're getting a little closer to this larger storm now. And I would be very shocked if we did not get a new severe thunderstorm warning here momentarily for southern Lycoming, northern Montour, northern Northumberland, and even into Columbia counties. This storm is really taking on a real beefy appearance. All right. Hang on, we're going to go through this little pass here that we go through. Might lose cell reception briefly, but stay put. I'll be right back if anything happens. That truck driver said, "Not today, young man." My cruise control is set at 72 and he just put that pedal down. He is probably, he or she, they are loaded, I'm sure. Probably heavy. Well, that heavy rain is now really sneaking up into Montgomery. Montgomery, you will be getting heavy rain. If not now, it will be coming in very, very shortly. Nothing severe as of yet. They have not issued a new warning. I would be very shocked if it didn't come out here very soon, though. It's a pretty beefy storm moving into the White Deer area. Well, hang on. We are getting ready to get impacted by a pretty strong storm here in the Turbotville, White Deer area. Lightning is on the increase. And based on radar, it does show extremely strong winds moving into White Deer and Turbotville area. Lewisburg, there might actually be some rotation moving in. I'm really shocked they don't have any kind of a severe thunderstorm warning or even a tornado warning based on the what looks to be a little bit of rotation moving toward Lewisburg. just for everybody watching, we are southbound on 180. We're about 3 miles north of 80. Getting very close to Watsontown. Watsontown is on the western side, or I'm sorry, the eastern side of the Susquehanna River. White Deer is going to be on the western side. Just to the north of that, Dewart. And Dewart and Montgomery are getting some very, very heavy rain right now. This is not the same storm that I initially was chasing. That storm is now really quickly dissipated and moved north. This cell coming out of the south has really moved north, kind of surprisingly jumped north, and is going to impact the Watsontown area here momentarily. Montgomery, you might actually see a little bit of hail. Lightning is increasing. I think we made this move just in time. Big, big lightning off to the west. Woo! Love this lightning. I know a lot of people do not like lightning. I've had my run-ins with lightning. I respect it. It is absolutely beautiful for me. But I respect the crap out of it because of what it can do. All right, folks, we're going to try to get slightly in front. I'm trying here of an area that looks a little suspicious on radar, just on the north side of Lewisburg, coming across 11 and 15 and 147 here in the next few minutes. A little bit of it, very, very not good looking as far as rotation on radar. Doesn't look that great anymore. It was looking pretty good a little bit ago. It looks like it's really falling apart now. But I want to get down there just a little bit further, see if we can't see anything while the lightning is flashing. And we will be getting hit with some very heavy rain, maybe some hail here in just a little bit. Bright lightning. Well, that was interesting. That lightning flash showed something very dark to my southwest. Very bright in the rain, but very dark. Bottom area. This is why chasing at night can be dangerous, because you can't see anything unless it's lightning, unless there's lightning flashing. All right, we're going to do it right here. A lot of people ask me how I chase, and in all honesty, a lot of radar, a lot of, knowledge as far as what I've gained over all these years, but also just gut instinct and gut feelings. A lot of times I make left turns, right turns, left turns, just based on how I feel. And right now I'm feeling like this. That, and then I fight with my inner self as to what I should and shouldn't do. We're going to go back here. Can I get behind? Can we see anything? Backcountry road with trees on all sides. That's great. Not what we want when we're chasing. But this is what we got all across PA right now. That has no outlet. Come on, give me a field. Give me an open field where I can see to the west. I need to see west. Now we're talking. Bunch of houses. Oh, there's the rain. Well, if we're going to get hail, it'll be here momentarily. I know right where we're at. Okay. Okay. All right, now we're in it. If we're going to get hail, it's going to be now. If we're going to get strong winds, it's going to be now. Trying to get to a spot in town here where I can get to a gas station or a bank that has a overhang or a roof. Yeah, now Montgomery, it looks like you might actually be getting more heavy rain and maybe even a little bit of hail falling as this storm expands north. This thing really became an overproducer. I am purposely keeping my eyes on the road here. That was not lightning, that's a street light that is going kind of nuts. A little bit of heavy ponding of water on the road here in Watsontown. The lightning really, it's flashing quite a bit, but there's not a lot of lightning bolts, which is a good thing. Alright, pretty strong winds as we go over the bridge. We're going over the Susquehanna River. Very heavy rain. No hail. Milton State Park. Strong winds. Really strong winds. Yeah, I think we're just going to turn around. Probably 30-mile-an-hour winds right now, nothing severe. still to cause some pretty good on the roads here in Watsontown. I'm sorry, we're in Milton, not Watsontown. My gosh. Very heavy rain filling up the roads here. My wiper is doing the funky chicken. Whoop. Don't need that. Lots of street flooding. There's even more. So these thunderstorms have really grown north up into Muncie and even Pennsdale. So Muncie, Hughesville, you are going to get some very heavy rain. Wow, that lightning bolt was very close. And yeah, nothing severe. I'm happy to report nothing severe right now. No damage in this area. This is right where, if there was rotation, this is right about where it was going to go. We're on the north side of Milton. We're on Route 405, just in Milton, heading north, following this storm up. Becky's Soft Serve. Of course, it's closed because of, well, the time. Doesn't look like any wind damage going on. Oh yeah. If you haven't hit that like button yet, hit the like button for the lightning. That was a good lightning strike. All right, folks, we're on 180 as long as you can hear me. I hope so. Raining very hard, and of course I'm driving 55 miles an hour because of the rain is real heavy right now. But working our way north, trying to get back toward Muncie, where the heavy rain is extending north with these storms. This storm came northeast and then really just went more of a linear mode and wow, really expanded northward. Every radar update, every 3 minutes or so, these things were just shooting north. And really, as we go through the night, the heavy rain will just continue merging. All these storms kind of go what's called linear. Instead of individual cells and thunderstorm cells, they combine into a line of storms and heavy rain and become more of a flash flood threat overnight. And that's what it's doing right now. So the severe threat, while it's not over, I would say the flash flood threat is what's going on right now. And wow, just to my southwest, almost into Lewisburg, brand new flash flood warning has been issued by the National Weather Service. All this rain is going to be moving north and east, right up toward this area. So Watsontown and White Deer, you're going to be next for probably flash flood warning. And then that rain will continue up into Lycoming County. Hello. Woo! I told you, if you didn't hit that like button yet, do it for that lightning. My goodness. Love it. Even with really good tires, and I'm going 56 miles an hour. These roads are so wet, so much rain coming down, that going any faster, you risk the possibility of hydroplaning. Hello. That was a good one. That was a really good one. Really glad to see no one hiding under all the overpasses. At least here, that's a good thing. Woo, we are hydroplaning. Even at 51 miles an hour. There's a lot of water on these roads. Wrong turn signal. According to radar, some of these lightning strikes have been very close. Holy cow. All right, folks, for those of you still watching, I appreciate you. We are in Muncie in eastern Lycoming County. We're going north on Main Street now and checking out any kind of flash flooding that might be going on. Yep, definitely water ponding on the roads here. Lots of water, check that out. More flooding right here. Yeah, a couple areas there in Muncie right here as well, seeing some ponding of water on the roads. Just a little too much for the storm drains. Here along East Water Street, aptly named. Hello. That was close. There's the thunder. My goodness, that was close. I think what we'll do, we'll pull in up here at CVS, we'll sit in the parking lot and we'll watch some of this lightning here as it moves off to our east. Oh goodness, actually, go up the road a little bit. I know of a really nice church out here a little bit. We can pull into the back parking lot. We can sit there without any real lights off to the west. Hopefully. Alright. Gonna be tough to see anything until we get some lightning flashing, but that's what we're gonna be watching for the moment. See if we can check out chat here, see what everybody's up to. All right, folks, got back to Jeannie. Now I'm invested again. That was a little while ago. I apologize. With all the driving, I can't really check chat. Watsontown has lightning. It's not heavy yet. Hans, I'm sorry about that. I did not see your chat. What's it looking like for the Muncie area? Well, you posted that about 40 minutes ago. Again, I apologize. Rain. Definitely rainy. Lots of lightning. Thanks, Lisa, for putting that in chat. I appreciate that. Heavy rain in Allenwood right now. Rain heavier in Montgomery. Get out of those trees. Yes, I don't like being on a road with just trees when there's a big storm. All right. Yeah, I was outside of Milton. I don't know what I was thinking. Is that near Lubbock? No, it's quite a far away from Lubbock. This is Lycoming County, Pennsylvania. We have some severe thunderstorms with tornado warnings, and those have since all dissipated. And I think there are no severe thunderstorm warnings in effect now at all across any of the eastern United States. In fact, the only severe thunderstorm warning I can find on radar is down in the panhandle of Florida. Yeah, that's it for right now. Yeah, Mahoning Street to Watsontown. Yeah, that was real quick. Did State College have a tornado today? I'm not 100% sure. I haven't seen any reports of a tornado. I know State College got hit by a pretty good thunderstorm. There were some severe thunderstorms that went through the area. Whether they put down a tornado or not, I would have to let the National Weather Service confirm that, and they'll probably do that tomorrow if they send out any survey teams. But that's really the only way to confirm a tornado versus straight line winds is some kind of a survey team to go out and confirm that. So, but I apologize. No, we're right here in Pennsylvania. ahead and turn. Really, our lightning has died off pretty dramatically as these storms move off to the east. Other than flash flooding, I believe our severe weather threat is done for the night. And if you don't need to worry about flash flooding at your home, on your property, at your street, in your community, then I think you would be able to go ahead and successfully go to bed without any worries for the rest of the night. I think it's all done. The runoff from the parking lots is pretty significant. There was a lot of rain. Yeah, folks, watching radar, and after the stuff passes through even Williamsport, Jersey Shore, Lock Haven areas right now, once that passes through, we should be clear for the evening or for the nighttime, at least overnight. So some areas are still going to get some very heavy rain. There are flash flood warnings posted to our south. All right, folks. Thanks for coming along. I think we're going to end the stream. All the severe weather is done. Flash flooding still a likelihood overnight. If you do live in an area that is prone to flash flooding, you're more than likely already prepared for it and already ready for it, since we were calling for it all day. Even after 2 days ago, we were looking at this threat. I am almost up into Hughesville. I've got to get home and get ready for bed so I can get to work in the morning. Thanks for watching. Storm Chaser Eli Roberts here in Lycoming County, Pennsylvania, where we had some pretty severe thunderstorms and tornado warnings. And as everything moved east into the Central Valley area, the storms went linear and pretty much died off. So really good lightning show, very heavy rain. Some flash flood warnings in effect right now, but most of the heavy rain and heavier storms have moved off to the east. Sunbury, Lewisburg, down toward Newport, you are getting hit hard right now. All the way down toward Carlisle and Harrisburg, you're next. So those down in southern PA, keep your eyes to the sky, even though it's dark. Stay weather aware. And as Ryan Hall always says, there's no need to be scared, be prepared. But watching lightning still flashing off into the distance, with the heavy rain, or the rain still falling, there's no reason to put my camera out in it to try to get lightning photos. The lightning has moved off to the east pretty far. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you watch this and you like what you have seen, go ahead and hit that like button. That'll tell YouTube that you like what you watched, and it'll tell others, or it'll tell YouTube that other people should watch this as well. If you haven't subscribed, I hope I earn your subscription. Got some flooding going on here on a typically flooded railroad street here in Hughesville at Railroad and Academy. Our storm drains work pretty well, but they get overloaded pretty quickly. Oh, that was some pretty lightning. Holy cow. Holy moly, that was beautiful. Check out a few more of these streets here and around town. But I appreciate everybody watching, I really do. If you liked what you saw, hit that like button. If you really liked it, I hope I earned your subscription tonight. I do all sorts of different severe weather and weather chases. And right here on Broad Street is also a little bit flooded. But yeah, I hope you come back next time. There is no set schedule with my videos. I know a lot of YouTubers will have a set schedule, one video a week, one video every 3 days, 2 days. Some are insane enough to do one a day. But the type of content that I can make, we just don't get that kind of... We don't get storms and severe weather every day. So we put together as much content as we can, as quickly as we can. So come back often. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and put them down in the chat box below. And I appreciate you coming along for the chase tonight. Down here at Ashcar Elementary School, which typically does get some flooding. This whole zone down in here where our schools are was built on really swampland. So it's oftentimes very wet down here no matter what. But I'm going to, I'm probably going to set up my camera under a little bridge, or not bridge, and it's not an overpass, it's a covered bridge little walkway covered bridge, protected from the rain. See if I can't get some lightning bolts that are crisscrossing the sky here. And if so, I will post those to my Facebook page. You can find that in the link in the chat. Lisa was so good to add the chat, or add the link in the chat here. But you can find me on Facebook, Storm Chaser Eli Roberts. And again, thank you so much for watching.